Hello, welcome back. If you're watching me and I want you to tell your friends, please give them my address here. You can watch me at www.realcopstoriesvideos.com. Please do that. And also, if you want to ask questions to me, I'll answer the questions as best I can at rsbcopstories@gmail.com. Okay? So this involves me working with my partner, and we're working Vice. And it really is not really anything to do with us working. We're working around the SC Coliseum Sports Arena. And he gets a call. And he got a call from his nephew, who was like 16, and said he got molested at the sports arena at a concert. So you can understand my partner was a little bit hot under the collar, so we shoot over there. We're undercover, long hair, whatever. Met him outside, and we said, what happened? Well, he was, apparently his nephew was in the bathroom. He's a young kid, small of stature. And some older guy slammed him against the wall and was grabbing his crotch and trying to kiss him and all that good stuff. Really gross stuff. And the kid's traumatized. I mean, you can see he didn't want to tell the story to his uncle, let alone a stranger. I'm standing there, and I said, it's okay, it's fine. You know, so he calmed down a little bit, and now we meaning my partners, police kick in. Where is he? Do you know where he's at? Oh yeah, my friends saw him. Friends came in when he was doing it, and he took off, and they're with him. They're watching him right now for you guys. Oh great. So we go in. We get a couple of uniformed officers that are working there. Here's the little entourage. Here we go. And so as we come down the stairs, his friends are standing at the bottom of the stair where they're like this, real obvious. They're pointing at him, okay? And he's watching the concert. He's completely oblivious about any police being around at all. So my partner and I walk down. He goes a couple seats in, identifies himself, and says, you need to talk to us. And so he gets up and he starts to walk, and he looks over and sees his nephew. And now the light went on. And he started to resist. My partner grabbed him, threw him in the aisle, and then the uniform officer basically just picked him up, and his feet were dangling, and cuffed him because we told them the story. Now everybody has, relatives, nephews, cousins that are young, impressionable men and women. And when you hear a story like that, you kind of your shingles start to shake. And you see these uniform officers. One of them said he had a niece that was molested, a girl, and he was pissed off about the guys doing that. Okay, so they weren't. We're cut from the human race, and the emotions kick in. So anyway, they didn't do anything to him. They just jacked him up and took him outside. At that time, my partner tells me that his sister is very much of a liberal, very open, left-winger kind of thing, and doesn't really appreciate police. Didn't really talk to him because he doesn't like cops that much, and that's fine. Everybody has a right to their opinion. Okay, this is a moral to the story coming up here at the end of it. So we took him in, and it's a misdemeanor. Now, in misdemeanors in California, the citizen who's a victim has to make the arrest. Well, not make the physical arrest, has to make the verbal arrest. So we told his nephew this, and so the guy's sitting on a bench at the station, so the nephew walks up and he says, I arrest you for molesting me, okay? And I've got witnesses, and they're all standing there. And then the guy just kind of said F you or something, I don't remember what it was. And so I urged him out of there, and then that's the end of it. We do all the reports, we book them, and then everything goes to the city attorney's office for filing, and we're out of it. We're just there custody or custodial duties to make sure nobody fights anybody, make sure he doesn't assault the kid. Basically, that's our job, okay? Basically, protecting and serving the public. That's our job to do that, okay? Just happened to be his nephew. Okay, so now my partner's giving me an update. So then, usually within a couple of weeks you get a subpoena. So his sister didn't get a subpoena for like a month. So she called him. Now she wants to talk to the police. Kind of ironic, but that's fine. He tells her, well, you got to call the office, and here's his booking number and all that, and find out what's going on, because it's out of our hands. The prosecutor's going to do this. So a couple days went by, we're at work, and then he gets the phone call, and she called him at the station. They had an extensive phone conversation, and we get back in the car and we're driving around. He tells me, he smiles, he goes, listen to this. He goes, she called the office, and I don't know if some of my stories I might have related this, but city attorney said, well, we didn't go to trial because we charged him with disturbing the peace. She goes, what does that mean? Well, you get a $50 fine and that's it. It's a conviction. She goes, what do you mean it's a conviction? This is his sister. He molested my son. Shouldn't it be a sex crime? Shouldn't he have to register as a sex offender? And here's the answer I would get when I worked undercover doing cases with guys in parks doing nasty things to themselves. The same answer she got from this city attorney regards to her nephew. Or her son, his nephew. The city attorney said, well, it's only a misdemeanor and we surely wouldn't want them to register as a sex offender. And she gave the same answer I gave. She said, He is a sex offender. He assaulted my son. Sorry, ma'am. That's the way it is in this county, in this city. So that's the end of it. He pled guilty. He paid his fine. That's the end of it. My partner said she was in shock, and I wasn't, because we dealt with this all the time. We deal with this all the time. We arrest guys doing bad things in public restrooms and venues open to the public where they're whispering and shouting and exposing themselves and all this stuff, and they never get convicted for what they do. They get convicted for disturbing the peace. How do you disturb the peace when nobody's around except undercover officers see you doing this, or some victim running away screaming because you exposed yourself to them? It's just weird. So she got really upset over that, and then she wrote a bunch of letters to their supervisors. She got the same answers. It's the way it is. Okay. So he tells me like months later that now she's an advocate for people voting for more police resources. trying to get more officers in vice, trying to enforce the laws against child molestation. Well, honey, you should have been doing that a long time ago. Okay, but he says, I can't believe she pretty much flipped her coin. In her sense, heads is conservative. I flipped the coin, and heads are on both sides. She was not going to lose that coin toss. She just completely flipped, and now she talks to me more and asks me questions. Which I told her before all these answers, but she didn't want to listen, because remember, whatever party you're in, you get focused on that particular agenda or whatever you want to believe in, and you completely disregard everything around that thing. Whether it be, I'm not saying Democrats or Republicans, but I'm just saying that you got to open up your mind a little bit. You got to understand there's a lot of bad people out there, and a lot of them are Democrats, a lot of them are Republicans. They're just bad people. We always had the thing where, you're in a jury room or you're in a group, in a committee, and you got 12 people, and they say, hey, let's go to lunch. Where do we want to go? You get 12 answers, okay? Or you get 10 people want to go one place, and you get 2 that don't. You can't get 10 people to agree on anything, okay? So there's always going to be a percentage that's not going to agree with you. And so whatever party you're from. And so she finally figured this out, that I didn't like this answer to my son getting molested. Well, that's just the way it is. This county's so big, and they don't care. Very liberal policies, procedures. They don't care about the victim. They really don't. I can say that for honesty. You can click in the news right now and think how much they care about victims. They don't. So if you're a victim, look out. Nothing's going to happen to the suspect. That's an honest fact. That's not my conjecture. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the story. Nothing, no shootouts or anything like that, but it was interesting to see if you can see sometimes people change, hopefully to the good. Okay? All right. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.